Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair,
And I'm the one and only Jay Tilly.
the one.
The
Dude,
one.
hopefully you don't, or we don't, talk as long as Pat McAfee did tonight.
Woo-hoo.
Woo!
And hopefully we
Wow.
won't drop as many F bombs.
Yeah. But
That
good
that
on
dude just
him.
went off script and went crazy, it felt like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But
thanks for a match. I was even just saying there's going to be a couple more matches, I think, and that one makes sense. Gunther and Pat McAfee in a backlash match, and then hearing that Liv Morgan is going to go be filming a movie. I think they dropped the tag team titles to someone. I don't know who, but
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it'll
curious
be
who that's going to
interesting.
be too, who they're going to put in their paths.
Yeah.
Or they just don't drop it and they hold it through SummerSlam. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean they're not doing much with
Right.
they're just dropping it back and forth every they do a tournament, they get a
Yep.
champion, they drop it so. But at least it's not like it was like the Madden curse, when someone held it, someone got hurt. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. Kudos to Liv and getting ready to go off and do a movie and make a name for herself and put the WWE product out there. So I guess it's not a bad thing.
Sweet. Yeah. This show started off with a Seth Rollins promo and ended with a Seth Rollins promo. So funny
Yeah,
thing. But we start with
bookends.
Seth
Yeah.
Rollins. And he's talking about how he's saving the business, and Sami Zayn comes out and interrupts him. And basically, Seth tells him to either join him or he's going to pay the price. And he needed to know by the end of the night. So not a lot to it, but I guess we're set. Well, we set up a match for the end of the night. I was kind of hoping we'd see Seth Rollins actually join them, and we'd see him taking on Mr. Yeet himself. But that looks like we're going a different direction with that too. So kind of curious how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a tag team match. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns, which is awesome for Braun Breaker.
Hell yeah.
But like you said, that was an interesting interaction, and you learned a lot about Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn and their friendship and all that. But we were there to watch some sports entertainment, professional wrestling, and we got talk. And then we saw Sami Zayn, what, 3-4 times in the
Yep,
back?
throughout the night. Yeah, I didn't even write
Um,
them all down in my notes. It's just
yeah.
a lot of
You,
him
you
talking in the
know,
back.
yeah, yeah. So, so now we're sitting there waiting. What is Sami Zayn going to do? And, he's in a tough spot. He's, he's always been sort of the martyr. And the other side is he was in cahoots with Paul Heyman before.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking, okay, well, it could go one way or the other. So I was interested in that throughout the show and how it would turn out. So
Yeah, me too. I actually thought it was going to go a different direction. I thought he was going to Paul Heyman was going to promise him, Jey Uso, and that's how he was going to
yeah,
join him because that would have made sense. But
absolutely.
we shall see. But speaking of wrestling, we got it next, man. Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez put
Woo!
on a clinic. Uh,
Nice.
both matches on the show that were the women matches were top tier, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Really
I'm
strong
real.
performance. Yeah, in this one, Roxanne targets Rhea Ripley's leg,
Makes sense.
which makes sense. Yep, smaller girl going after the big strong girl's leg. Really good back and forth. My complaint was the end. We get Julia interfering a little bit, and then Io Sky comes in to make the save for Rhea that they're beating down on. But match itself was really good up until the interference end at the
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah. I mean, we're talking about main roster moves and who's on what show and who's doing what to who, and all for all intents and purposes, Roxanne Perez is Monday Night Raw. You're like, okay, cool. She's Monday Night Raw. We understand that. But then Julia's coming out, who's an NXT wrestler,
Right.
and there's been no talk about her, moving up to the main roster. That her and Stephanie Vicar wanted to be on NXT to sort of learn, work on the WWE style and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you have all these wrestlers and like AEW too, like they have this huge roster, and then they bring in, some local, local wrestler to get a squash match. You're like, dude, you could have really done something with someone who's already sitting in the back. So,
Yeah.
there's a story to it. Something's going to come out. Roxanne Perez, really good showing. Some of her moves, excellent. She almost hit Pop Rocks.
Yep.
She almost hit a really cool swinging leg sweep. And kudos to Mommy. She always ends up on top. And, that if that's how the match is going to end and she's going to get the victory, then that'll formulate something for Backlash. But
Right.
yeah, like you said, I would like to have seen a clean ending for Roxanne Perez's like first official match on the main roster. So we got what we got.
My fear is that at Backlash we're going to get Rhea and Io Sky versus Julia and Roxanne. And the reason I say my fear is because that means we're already going, oh, women's title doesn't mean anything after that big WrestleMania win for her. We're going to put her in a tag match on the next pay-per-view. But maybe not. Maybe we're going to get Julia. I think we're going to get Julia and Rhea at SummerSlam, though. I think that's going to be the big match at SummerSlam.
Okay.
And maybe Io and Roxanne. We'll see. I think that could be good.
Yeah, those styles make fights, and I think that would be a really good one. And I think eventually what we're going to see is we're going to see Io versus Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley finally beats Io Sky, which she has not been able to do.
Right, ever.
So that'll be a good story for Rhea, also a good story for Io, how dominant she'll be on this title run.
Yeah.
And then finally face the big
Rio can finish her story. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Then we get Judgment Day in the back, and Finn Balor finds out that they're taking on the War Raiders for a #1 contendership match. And he's basically complaining that nobody tells him anything, and he's all upset that he's not in the know. And writing's on the wall. They're pushing him out, obviously. So we will see where that all goes. That leads right into the match, which is the War Raiders and the Judgment Day. War Raiders pick up the win as actually Penta interferes. Penta pulls JD McDonough off the top rope, leading to the War Raiders to hit their move. I forgot what it's called, their finishing move, and get the pin. And so we're getting a run back to War Raiders and Judgment Day, or I'm sorry, New Day at Backlash.
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing that's where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, unless, well, no, they're not going to debut the Lucha Brothers yet. I think they'll let them have a singles run for a little bit. But it good to see JD McDonough back. Welcome after he just about snapped his head off. And it wasn't even his head or neck that got injured. It was his rib.
Right.
So that's a tough dude. And, welcome back. And, yeah, Judgment Day is sort of imploding. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Me too. I think it's going to be fun. They need to do something with them because they're getting kind of stale.
Yeah.
So I think moving Finn out of it will be good. Yeah. That'll be a good twist in it. And then you could set up Finn and Dom leading into SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was funny. He asked for Dirty Dom comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I need time off too." He's like, "Well, because I'm the champ. I can do whatever I want. You should listen to your dad more often." And he did not get the time off, FYI.
Nope.
And looks like we're going to see AJ Styles versus Dirty Dom, which will be a really fun match, and super proud of what Dom is doing as a really young man coming into this, industry, obviously third or fourth generation wrestler. Plus he's got, the Guerreros and the Mysterios, sort of that whole mystique. But yeah,
I don't know who his real dad is.
Yeah. I keep going back to that one episode where they had the same bleach bottle. So,
Then we get Logan Paul out in the ring. basically calling out Jey Uso. Jey Uso responds and comes to the ring, and they go back and forth, and Uso kicks him. And then I'll just go ahead and hit the backstage later. So backstage later, I think they showed it on TV. If not, I was watching the international feed, so I'm not sure. But Jey Uso was talking to Sami Zayn, and as Sami Zayn walked away, Logan Paul catches him with that deadly right hand of his and says that's payback. So obviously we're setting up a run between these two. I kind of hope they give Logan Paul the title.
Oh, dude, come on.
I think that would be
That's
so
not
much
fair.
fun and so much chaos.
Total chaos, because it would be a mad dash to hurry up and get the title off of him, just like at WCW days when David Arquette was the champion. Or even worse yet, when Vince McMahon was walking around either as the champion or the ECW champion. Like, dude, you were just ruining the library right now. So, will it generate clicks? Yes, it will. Are people already pissed that Jey Uso is your world champion? Absolutely. And this would sort of devolve the title with putting it on Logan, taking it from Gunther. Seth Rollins did a lot of really good stuff with the title. Gunther comes in, he holds the title, does some good things, holds it for, over a year. Back-to-back WrestleManias where Gunther has dropped a title. And both were relative surprises when you saw Gunther after, 666 days or 667 or something like that, loses to Sami Zayn, loses the Intercontinental title, and then comes out here 360-something days or 50-something days.
I think it'd be fun
drops the title. So
to build the anti-Undertaker thing with him. He goes 0-21 on WrestleManias. He'll hold these titles for all these long periods and then go 0-21 because he could never seem to win at WrestleMania.
It's like those NFL and basketball teams or whatever, they go and win 72 games in the NBA season, or the NFL, like when the Patriots, they went undefeated and lost to my New York Football Giants, or, the systemic issue.
Right.
Super dominant all year. And then,
you can't pull it off at the end.
Yeah. Damn. No, don't do my guy like that. Shit.
All right, then we get Becky Lynch cutting her heel promo. Basically says, "I'm going to tell you who took out Bayley. It was me. Woo. It was me all along." So, nice little twist to the story. I don't know if this is where they're originally going with it, but I liked it. Calling back to the fact that they've been fighting each other for 6 years, and then she spins that into why she took out Lyra Valkyrie, and it's because she buddied up to the person that was her enemy. So I thought this was good. It made sense. Valkyrie comes to the ring, confronts her. They go back and forth, and obviously setting up, I'm guessing, Backlash match for those two.
Yeah, I agree. Originally I was thinking it'll be a tag team match or a three-way, but if they did a three-way, it would basically be Bayley and Lyra against Becky.
Yep.
So it would, the only other tag team-ish that would make almost sense would be Naomi versus Naomi with, and then you'd have to have a three-way.
She's still going on with Jade, yeah.
Yeah.
My guess is you'll get Valkyrie and Lynch at Backlash. Lynch will win the title, and then you have a title match of Bayley and Lynch at SummerSlam.
Yeah, Bayley. There you go. Yeah,
that's
so
what
Bayley
I think will happen.
Come back after being written off of TV for the supposed attack. So then they get the title off of Lyra. Lyra can go, whether she goes into a tag team or does whatever. That's a good. That would be good. And then they have a feud. Maybe they exchange the title a couple times, and then they have a WrestleMania Night 1 main event.
Yeah. Bayley
versus Lynch in a cage, lights out, unsanctioned.
Braun panty
hair versus hair or something. Yeah. Pillowcase match. Let's go.
Then we have the next match of the night, which was another banger, and this one took me by surprise. I've seen Ivy Nile a bunch, but I wasn't expecting what she did in this match. It was Stephanie Vakir, who I'm guessing is pulled up to the main roster because she's been on Raw every week since WrestleMania. Well, that's only 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
I assume they're bringing her up. Versus Ivy Nile in another fantastic showing for the women in WWE and especially on the main roster. Really enjoyed this match, and Vakir ends up with the win at the end. But strong match. I think she won clean too. So little shenanigans from El Grande. I'm sorry, from Chad Gable. I get the two confused so many times. From Chad Gable outside, and it was good. I like this match a lot, actually.
Yeah, the Pitbull, she's a freaking just a hoss. She is so freaking strong, and to see her go from what she was in NXT, and obviously she was working behind the scenes and not on TV, and she was always escorting the brothers down to the ring. But to see her go now, she had a really good match for the Intercontinental Championship. And to see her, now in the ring with the NXT champion, kudos to her and all the hard work. And she comes up short, but I think, this, iron sharpens iron, and this could definitely, paint a pretty strong picture for her. And I'll be interested to see what, and, we talk about feuds and stuff, and trying to get her into a program, it would obviously involve American Made. So figuring that out, because the whole Team Alpha,
right?
I mean, that's that feud or that interaction between those two factions, I think, is over. So unless she's part of a trade, but then you take her out of American Made, and that's sort of where she belongs, because you don't want to send her over to go against Zelina Vega for the United States title on SmackDown. But
right,
we'll see what happens. Congrats to Stephanie, comes out the victor. I thought she was going to come out during the previous women's match when Julia showed up, but I'm glad they didn't have too many NXT people out on the screen at one time. So
yeah, which technically that was probably the main event of the night if it wasn't for the impromptu Braun Breaker Sami Zayn match at the end.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that. Next was Pat McAfee taking about 30 minutes and about 4 F-bombs to challenge Gunther to a match that looks like it's going to happen at Backlash.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about that. I like the setup, but it was what it was. Be an interesting match to watch. I don't think Pat McAfee wins, but I think it's kind of cool they're putting him in the ring.
Yeah.
Then we get. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, good. We'll keep it moving. But he did really well in his couple of matches with NXT. He took a stunner really well at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we'll see. He got choked out pretty quick. Hopefully he puts up a good show. And that's a lot of trust that they're putting with Gunther, putting him in the ring with McAfee, because McAfee's a protected entity of ESPN Sports.
And very new, realistically.
Yeah.
So, then we get Sami Zayn's decision time. Seth Rollins is in the ring, and Sami Zayn comes out, and he basically says, so what the offer was that he moves to SmackDown, and he gets an immediate title shot against whoever wins John Cena or Randy Orton. And Sami Zayn turns it down, says, I'll get a title shot, but I'm not going to do it with blackmail or extortion, which I thought was kind of dumb. Why not take that title shot if it's guaranteed?
Yeah.
But turns it down, and that leads to a Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn match. Really good match, man. Braun Breaker, dude. Like, that dude's scary.
Yeah.
He basically beats the shizit out of Sami Zayn. Several spears. And the whole time.
And outside of
the ring. Yep. The whole time, Seth Rollins is looking concerned because he didn't want his friend to go through this, and concerned. And after I think the third spear in the ring, the ref calls the match because Sami can't continue. And Seth looks up at Braun Breaker and gives him the finish it sign, which was a lot like what the Rock did. But that's probably just coincidence because, The Rock didn't even have plans for what happened.
Yeah.
Which tells Breaker to do it again, and he does it again. And then they get him in the ring. and it looks like it's done. And Seth Rollins is in Braun Breaker's face. They're talking about it, and then Seth Rollins gives Sami the stomp. So I'm guessing we've written Sami off for a little bit, and that's how we go off the air. Is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and the new Paul Heyman faction standing strong, taking out Sami Zayn. So
Wow.
yeah. So they've eliminated Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and now, Sami Zayn. So interesting faction. I think they need more people in it if they're going to keep building it. Like, I think Becky Lynch should be part of it. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good. So
yeah,
what do you think about the whole stuff there?
Yeah, I think Breaker being the heater, I think will be really good. You put Becky Lynch in there. Two great talkers. Braun is not terrible, but he's not Seth and he's not Heyman. And he would learn a lot. And then I can't even think of who else you would bring in there because I don't think you're going to see Lesnar.
No. No, I think it'll be somebody
Braun
young and up and coming.
Maybe, I don't.
No, it'll have to be somebody, maybe Trick Williams or someone like that who is.
That's a good one, yeah.
Coming off an NXT, something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd like to hear what other people think. Who is going to be that other person that Heyman is going to say, watch this, hold my beer or scotch or whatever he drinks.
Yep.
Because I'm going to make a superstar out of this guy. Because just like Michael Cole said, he's done it again. So
yeah, he's building another bloodline. And I am curious. Yeah, let us know in the comments who you think that'll be. Overall rating, what'd you give this one?
I gave it 3 beards. Crowd was really into it. They moved, the storyline along for Seth Rollins, and they set up some action for Backlash and some storylines that in just us discussing off the fly, they can build to a WrestleMania run. So a lot of really good things. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more wrestling, but you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, I went 2.5. I thought it was an average Raw. Yeah. I mean, not super great.
Yeah.
But again, the matches on it really impressed me. I think I took a little off because I'm not a fan of those impromptu matches. So what would have happened at the end of the night if Sam had been like, "No, I join you guys"? Well, we would have gone off the air at 10 o'clock instead of 10:30. That was my only complaint, or one of my only complaints.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But I agree. Like, the storyline moved along, everything was good. So I enjoyed this Raw. They've been on 2 pretty good ones back to back that I've enjoyed and not, found myself playing on my phone more than I watched the show. So glad Triple H is back in the booking.
Happy how they've set up what Backlash is going to look like. So definitely the home of Randy Orton and the RKO. We'll see how Backlash turns out. And, John Cena's down to 23 more, 23 more showings. So,
and actually, we go into detail on that on our WrestleMania Fallout show, which will come out tomorrow. It was out live. We kept it up for a little bit and pulled it down, and it'll go back out live tomorrow for everybody to watch if you missed it during the live broadcast. That's all I got. And if you like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're going to go live every Monday night and Wednesday night to give you a quick recap of the episode. And let us know what you thought of the show in the comments down below. Follow us on X and Instagram, NSMC_podcast. Also on Facebook, No Shave Man Cave. If you want to get in touch with us, noshavemancave@gmail.com. And if you want some merch like this hat or the hat he's wearing without his name on it, it'll just have the emblem, noshavemancave.com. We also have our most recent videos up there also to check out. Man, hot tag out to you. Take us home, brother.
Boom. Hey, great show. Good to see you. It's always nice to be in the cave. To everybody who's checking us out and giving us a follow, super, super cool. Keep it up. Like, share, subscribe, just like he said. If you're interested in any custom titles or fantasy football titles or anything, to put in your man cave, hit us up at noshavemancave_ title belts, and it is on our Instagram page. So check us out, and for sure 2 weeks from the time you order, you're holding it in your meat hook. So super cool.
Awesome.
But until next time, all of our brothers and sisters at arms, thank you for what you do. Be safe. Our first responders as well, thank you so much. And until next time, thanks for checking us out here in the No Shave Man Cave. On behalf of Jay Tilly, I'm Ellie Jair. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.